Can you push the better looking and younger button?
Hi, I'm Liz from bestnewbands.com, and we're here at the Buckley Center at University of Portland with Little Beirut. This is Hamilton, Alex, John, and Edwin.
Hello.
Hi.
Greetings.
So we just saw your show, which was free. Can you tell me why it was free?
Well, I think it's a campus thing. Since it was the show at the University of Portland, so I think it's something they put on with their campus budget and offer to their students to come to something for kids to relax a little bit.
You could give some free,
kind of
first, and then later you.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. It wasn't we don't normally play these kind of shows, so it was kind of the first university show like this for us in a while at least.
Very cool, though. They were saying they do 2 or 3 a year.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
This is so
great
cool.
for the students. Yeah, really nice.
So I heard you guys on 94.7 too. Does KBUP play them as well on your station? Do you know?
They do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We actually, they report to the College Music Journal, the CMJ, and at one point I think we were in their top 5 albums.
Yeah, we were like top 2 or 3 or something. That's how we got the gig. Shay is the music director at KBUP, and
Cool.
she asked us if we wanted to play. And we did a radio campaign, a college radio campaign, and we were played on. I don't know what the number of stations was. We were in heavy rotation on 90 stations across the country. We made it up to 114 on the CMJ top 200 charts.
Wow. How does that feel? You guys have been doing this for a while, right? And is it really neat to turn on the radio and hear your songs?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, the CMJ 200 is kind of that, that nut you want to crack if you're an indie band and you're, doing the similar types of pursuits that we're doing, especially the college radio circuit can be, depending on the time, can be pretty rough. And specifically the time that the album came out, we're pretty proud of how we charted because there was a lot of new albums released by a lot of big bands. And at one point, when we peaked at 114, we were the top self-released.
Top self-released have only I think 7 in the top 200, only 7 self-released records too. So most of them are either major or significant indie label bands.
Cool.
So we were like, yeah.
How did the audience tonight compare with, say, like a paid show? Do you think they were different? Did they seem more enthusiastic?
They were really into it and not, talking with their friend and running to the bar, and it's really and we could see them, which was kind of cool. Usually on stage you look out there and you just see black and the lights are right on you, and you see some heads bobbing and you know they're into it. But here, I was meeting them.
They were very polite.
Class.
They were very polite. I was impressed because I only have to presume that most of them hadn't maybe had heard a few songs on the radio, but basically weren't familiar with our music, and they sat there attentively and clapped, which was nice. One other big difference too is we brought virtually none of our own fans here, just because it's kind of an off the road, off the map sort of type show. So we didn't see a lot of familiar faces, but it was really cool.
And also with a neat opportunity to play some songs on the set that probably wouldn't have played at maybe another club venue or something like that.
Yeah, we could play slower numbers where people don't, run to the bathroom and leave, and we slow down the tempo.
Yeah, we could have really thrown in some really slower ones. Yeah, because we try and gear a club set to have a contour to it, and to,
Of course.
because people when they're drinking, they tend to get bored unless you're hammering them over the head with the rock, fast rock and roll, really like that. When you're sober.
So you just had a new album come out. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Is it different from your first 2? Is it?
It is. We all think it's definitely the best of 3 for sure. It's something that we spent, the most time at in terms of writing. We approached it a little differently at first, in that we had this idea of doing a real stripped down, sort of simple record But we got into the recording stage and into the production stage and realized that isn't really us. I mean, it is, the songs are a little more stripped down, but they're also, excuse me, they're more mature, I think. It's obvious that we are growing as songwriters, and I think we've really come into our own in terms of our own sound, and it shows, you know, in the charting that we made on the CMJ charts and things like that. So I think people are really responding to it positively, really positively this time, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard a little bit of it, and I think it's really good. I mean, it made me want to come out and see you. So
Thank you. Thanks for doing that, by the way.
Fantastic.
I noticed you, Alex, you're back there drumming, and you have a bunch of different things that you pull out. What's the deal?
Yeah.
What's the deal with
It's
you
kind of
guys?
like it's like, I really don't want to bring a keyboard. Hey, Alex will do it.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. It's like, wait.
We normally make him pull out the harmonica too.
Yeah, and I
You say
sing
that's-
as well. There wasn't enough microphones, channels, or whatever to be able to sing. So I'm
We're gonna try and
myriad of things to do. The earphones that you probably saw me messing around with. We have several songs where we play a sampled drum track too, and you know when that drops out for a section, I need to know a tempo to keep so that when it comes back in, it comes in at the right time and everybody is synced up to that. So
Wow.
on several songs, I'm playing to a click track, which you know is tough. But it's something that I've learned to do, and you know some drummers are really adamantly against it. They think it's just the biggest sin in terms of drumming to play to a click track. But you know there are so many instances where you know in the type of music we do, you have to have it because you've got a sample drum track going, and you need to know when to come back in. And
Or you have an Ashley Simpson moment.
yes,
Yeah. Come in like, oh, hey,
Was that quite right? So we just look at basically, you know, before the show, we look at Alex and say, "Don't F it up."
No, I'm super impressed. I mean, I've only seen one other drummer play the keyboard while drumming. I think it was like Semi-Sonic a long time ago. But
yeah.
I mean, you're the second one, so it's really impressive.
Oh, thank you. It just takes practice, and you know, unfortunately it's a lot more gear to have to lug around. But that's okay.
we like our gear.
We have quite a
Yes, it's obvious we do like our gear. For sure. Yeah.
And John, you made it super hard for me to tape you guys because you were just walking around
So-
on a wandering basis. Is that kind of just the way you perform all the time, or did you just have more space?
Got one more room tonight.
I actually saw I unplugged myself. At
Yeah,
one
you need
point.
one.
I thought you went to like change your sound.
No, I unplugged
Like,
myself.
why is he turning himself off?
Yeah, it was bad. I'm a big fan of their music. I am the newest member of the band, and I guess just my MO is just I'm a little bit animated on stage, and when I'm having fun, I'll jump around a bit.
Right.
And so I apologize for
the
the film.
He's the yin to my floor gazing yang.
Do the floor gazing,
Yeah,
turn around, and just
I need to look at my hands. Maybe one day I won't. I'll see what I'm doing.
Do you guys write all your songs together? Is it a collaboration, would you say?
And how do we write?
Well, we have a kind of a number of different methods, but generally Hamilton and I are the main songwriters, and I write most of the musical ideas. He writes all the lyrics and the melodies. We do any number of different things, from having fully formed ideas, you know, that we bring to the band, to just bringing half-formed sort of like, you know, chord progressions and things to jam on. And then sometimes we also just organically get in the room together and sort of just feel out a chord progression, and then from there it's a process of like, you know, channeling it into, you know, recording it. We record a lot of our practices on an 8-track, and you know, kind of listen to it and figure out, okay, well that would make a good verse. Okay, well with that verse, you know, well, let's write a chorus for it. So we have kind of a number of different approaches there.
Nice. And are you all from Portland? Is that
Only one of us.
only one?
Alex is the
You're
only.
one.
Yes.
Okay.
From Alabama.
Okay.
What about you? Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from here.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
You-
So you
you
drive
guys
them
are
all
pretty-
out here? Or?
No. They. I met them when they were already out here.
Cool.
So I was looking for a new band, and believe it or not, found these guys on Craigslist, which is
Casual encounters.
yeah, yes, exactly. Hamilton had this post. I had to respond. It was so hot.
It just turned out we played music.
Yeah.
And he plays drums.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
So usually those Craigslist things, they just, they're the worst of the worst out there. But I saw these guys and I
That's
heard
where
their
John's
music.
from too. So
Yes, yeah.
we were kind of a Craigslist success.
Yeah.
Hamilton and I went to college together millions of years ago, back in New Orleans, and played in a band
We
back
moved out
there.
here.
So we moved out here together, and played in a different band, and la-di-da, and time passed, and we got the band back together, so to speak, or a different idea, and then it actually took us a long time because we recorded and released our first album, Permanent Kiss, just the two of us in my little basement studio, and then we tried to, that was 2005, and we tried to get a band together for that, so we could go out and play shows. And I don't think it was until
2 years later.
winter of 2007 or so that we found
Yeah, you could
Alex
do a
and
reality show on
a different
trying
bass
out
player at that
drums.
time.
Oh my God.
How many bass players did you try out? 19?
Oh,
It was ridiculous.
hundreds.
Yeah, a lot.
More than a dozen, and drummers too.
And yeah, you get some crazy people.
job,
coming in.
You guys made it.
You did?
Made it into the band.
I had to force my way into the band.
He did. Yeah.
I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, and I had made a pit stop in San Francisco for 3.5 years. And when I knew that I was moving up here, I went out on Craigslist and said, "Hey, I'm looking for a band doing their own thing." And these guys reached out to me, and I was like, "Well, goodness, these guys are great, and I can't believe they need a bass player." So I reached out to them, and we exchanged a couple of emails. And I said, "Well, I'm not going to be." I think this was December of
It's like December
2009.
Mhm.
And then I said, "Well, here's the kicker: is I'm not moving out until June or July." And then I went and said, I don't think it's going to work out. And I said, "I'm sorry, actually, you should have me come out and audition," because I knew it was going to work out.
And he came in and played the songs better than we did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he shows up.
Yeah, I said that.
Hey, I was a fan.
Yeah, he flew out to try out, and he was great. And he said that he would come out to fly out for any gig that we had in between. So we hired him on the spot.
Yeah. Flew out for an April gig, and that was our first gig together.
And it ended all the bass player woes.
Yeah, which is the hardest thing. Everybody in Portland plays a guitar, or if you're a good guitarist, you're in like 3 bands, or a good drummer, you're in 3 bands. But finding a good bass player is really hard to find. That's the hardest one.
And they're still looking.
Yeah, he's on 5-year probation.
So I just have one more question. What kind of music do you guys listen to? Who do you like?
Everything.
Okay, well let's each give a couple bands.
All right.
Okay, I will say my 2 favorite bands at the moment. Well, Radiohead is the greatest band in the world.
It's a good one, yeah.
Not very humble opinion. And The National is my other favorite band. John?
Rock and roll, I'm going to have to go with Jeff Buckley. He's just amazing, and I wish he were still here. I'm also a huge jazz buff, and Pat Metheny is a major influence of mine.
Cool.
Growing up, grew up on Zeppelin, and Bruce Springsteen is definitely one of my favorites.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Contemporary stuff. I've taken a shining to that new Irish-English band, Scottish band, Mumford and Sons. I think they're really kind of cool.
That's a good record.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, it's a great new record. I love their stuff.
I guess I'm the one who should mention singer-songwriters since I've been doing all the lyrics. I'm a really big Elliott Smith fan, being a Portlander and all that. And I guess I have to say my favorite show I saw this year, I went to go see Willie Nelson.
Lucky.
Cool.
Oh my God, that was great.
While he was still free, huh?
And he does all these medleys, like one amazing song after another, and his older sister is 90, is playing piano, and
Wow.
yeah, he is the man.
He's great.
So,
But he's a hoot to
good
hang out with.
songwriting,
Yeah.
really good songwriting. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's, I
Hey,
mean, you
thank
guys
you.
have been great.
Yeah, thanks for talking
Thank
to
you
us.
very much.
Thank you for coming out and seeing us.
Yeah. So I'm Liz from Best New Bands, and this is Little Beirut.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Cheers.
Nice.